Good morning, everybody. Here we are back. I decided I would just put out a little short update video for the progress I'm making on my printer, the progress I'm making on my shop. In one of my earlier videos, I put in there that I was going to convert a room in the basement and make that into my makerspace. So I've decided against that because I would have so much work and time invested in trying to get that into a usable space that I'm not having time to work on my projects. So instead I elected to section off a portion of my wood shop and set it up. So I brought the computer out here, I ran internet out here. Still a lot of work, but I've got it up and running pretty decent. And the benefit is it's already weather tight, it's clean, it's dry. It's already got shelves and cabinets and a bench. So I was a little concerned with it being in my wood shop, but I've got a very nice dust collection system, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too much of an issue. I don't think it will. I've done some wood projects in there the last few days, and it looks like the dust has been very minimal, and I've stayed on top of it. So I think it's going to work out well. It also puts me ahead of schedule. I don't have to do all that work. So anyway, I just got off of Google Hangouts. Another hassle that I've got to try to figure out all the quirks on. I've done a couple live streams through the Google Hangouts before, but just me. I guess it wasn't Hangouts. Maybe it was Google Plus or something. A couple years ago. Anyway, I put up a couple videos, but without the interaction of all the people. I was able to get on Google Hangouts with my phone, no problem. But trying to get it to work on the computer, it gave me some fits. So I'm going to try to debug all that stuff and get to where I can join the Hangouts where everybody's at a little more often and a little more quality, I guess. I know when I did get my computer to come on, I caused some echoing in the group, and I do not want to cause any hassles for everybody else. So I want to make sure I get that all debugged quickly before I get into the Hangouts. So anyway, that brings us to the printer. As you can see, I've made some progress on it. I think my last video on the printer was just showing you the the extrusion. I did a video on the extrusions, where I got it. As I said in that video, this used to be old aluminum columns for like a porch roof or an awning. It had the scroll work in it, and I took all the scroll work out and cut it up into pieces and got my aluminum tubing for free. So that was a good start. The next step I wound up with was getting the rails, the slide rails. And I'll bring this other camera over here. Let me see if I can do this. This is all new to me, so bear with me here. I'm going to try to switch to this other camera. There we go, split screen. All right. So what we have here are my rails, and I honestly cannot tell you exactly what they are or what they were for, but I got them in a hardware store that's down the road. It's kind of like a little junk shop that they could have anything and everything. But what these are they're, I believe, axles. They were with all the lawnmower wheels and things like that. And I don't know if they're axles for trash dumpsters, toters, or little wagons or what, but they're very hard. They're very stiff. They don't have any flex in them. I mean, obviously you could bend them, but they don't have any flex, really. They're stainless steel, hollow. So those, I picked those up for $2 a piece. And that was kind of the key point to what got me to this. You know, I'm a, I guess, everything I do based on the opportunities presented to me. And this was my opportunity. This opportunity set the tone for this printer. I already had the tubing. I got the rails cheap. I got $2, $4, $6, $8, $10, $12 in the rails. So, and it came with polylock nuts. I don't know if you can see them in there. And washers and everything already on them. So I was good to go. So that was the next step. That is what set the dimensions of my printer. I was hoping to go as big as I could the first time. Originally, my plan was to buy, like a lot of people, an ANET A8 and then upgrade it and upgrade it and upgrade it until I got to what I wanted. The ANET was going to give me a cheap pile of parts that I could work with. Going this road, it's a lot slower, but you know, I believe I'm saving a lot of time. I don't know that I'm saving much money. In the end, I might not, but I don't have to upgrade it over and over and over. I can kind of go to the ballpark of what I want right from the get-go. Anyway, so there's my rods. The drawback to these rods are to get linear bearings for 1/2 inch. This is 1/2 inch diameter. To get linear bearings for that, they cost a fortune. And from what I've seen, you can print bearings. Those, what are they? IGUS? Am I saying that right? IGUS bearings? To fit it, which is my plan. But I don't have a printer. This is my first one. So I have to make do. And I finally come up with the plan that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, these are little cut-off sections of CPVC plastic plumbing pipe. And then I take and I ream those out to 1/2 inch exactly. And they slide pretty nice. Oops, sorry, can't see that. Nope, let's go over there. Okay, so they slide nice. I've got one on each side because that was the next problem. How do I mount them? I wanted to keep my mount 10 millimeters. No, sorry. Metric is new. I'm going to have to get used to this. 10 centimeters, 100 millimeters, was my limit of where I wanted my bearings to extend, because if I do that, these aluminum tubes are 600 millimeters long. And that was based, again, on this. That's what I had for rails, so that was as big as I could go. So I figure if I keep this at 10 centimeters or less, that'll leave me with 500 millimeters of travel. And it's going to be the same all the way around. It's 500 millimeters travel up, 500 millimeters across, and back and forth. So my goal is 500 by 500 by 500, and I think I'm going to get there. I'll address every issue as I get to it, and I'll get the best I can, but you know, anything I get is better than if I'd have got the ANET and been 200 by 200 or 240, whatever. So anyway, so that's where I'm at with this. I'm working on the slides right now. They're still dry, and these have cosmoline on them and everything. I got to clean them and oil them, but they're pretty smooth. It's working. So after that, I ended up, and you saw in my lead screw video that I got my lead screws, and they are 600 millimeter lead screws. I do not have my couplings yet. They haven't got here, so they're just kind of hanging there on hoses, so I can get a image in my mind and figure out how I'm going to mount everything. I'm going to have to make my bearing carriers. Where where am I at? There we go. I'm gonna have to make my bearing carriers to slide up and down each side with an arm that comes around so I can mount this nut. And then put my other two rails across there. And then I'll have to make me a carriage again that'll go across there. So still got a lot to do, long way to go, but it's getting there. It's actually something now. It's not just a pile of tubing laying in the basement. So we're making progress. I guess the next thing, let me see here. I'll show you. I've got the wood shop again. Opportunity. I have to make do with what opportunities I have. I've got the wood shop here. So what I wound up doing for my tubing is I just took some old rough sawn oak and I cut me an L bracket. So it goes back in here. And it's pretty tight. And then I put a set screw on each side. If I can get the camera there. No, I don't have that set screw in yet. But that set screw is not important because these rails draw that tight. But I will put a set screw in here too. So temporarily, I got the oak corners. They're good and strong. They're not going to bend. They're going to break before they're ever going to bend or move or twist. So that's what I built the corners and stuff out of. Then you'll see up here that, and down here, let's see if I can get a good picture. I built my brackets out of sheet metal. I come from the maintenance field. Last probably 7 years I've been in HVAC, and before that it was 25 years as an electrician. So I've got a lot of parts around. It's just a matter of remembering what I have and figuring out how I can apply it to the 3D printer world. So these are sheet metal, and I just hand bent them up with some hand benders and drilled them, and they're actually pretty darn accurate. I think I'm going to be good enough on tolerance to be able to get this thing printing. That top piece did not turn out as nice as the bottom pieces did. I had to make a couple adjustments. You'll see there that I've got, these are actually thumb screws that I had. Yeah. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, these are thumb screws that I had that came out of a computer. I've got all kinds of spare parts that I've saved over the years, boxes of little screws and stuff from a computer, and they fit perfect. They're not very long, but they worked out well. Let's see, what else? Then I just wanted some extra stiffness in my riser there. And when I picked up the aluminum tubing at the scrapyard, I saw this little piece of aluminum diamond plate. And I cut it in half and cut an angle on it and put it on there for a gusset. So the thing is rock solid. It's not going to move. It's not going to torque, twist. It's going to be in good shape there. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I guess that's the point that I'm up to as far as progress. Not a whole lot more I can show you on that. Let me put this back over here and see if I can, sorry if I'm making you dizzy there. I'm still trying to get this shop set up and get cameras up and running and microphones, and not having a ton of luck without spending money, But it's coming along. It's better than my videos before where I was on a green screen in the bedroom. So I think it's coming along pretty well. I still got some junk to clean up, but I got a pile of microphones here I've tried, but honestly I get more quality out of the microphone on the webcam than I do out of any of these microphones. These microphones I picked up, well, I had one or two laying around here, and then I picked this one up. And they're all just generic. I think they're old karaoke machine. Microphones. So they're just cheap generic things, and they're not working out so well. They didn't sound good. So right now I'm just sticking with this webcam. I got my lighting a little better. I got a couple soft lights over there. I still got some more work to do, but just have to wait till the opportunity presents itself. My camera, actually, I have the little 270 Logitech, and that's what I was showing you the parts on. That's on that pole there. I want to buy one of the Logitech C920s, the high definition ones, but I can't spend that money right now. So what I ended up doing was I found out how to take my cell phone, and cause it to stream to my network, and then all I got to do is go into OBS and link it up to a URL, and my camera has an awesome, or my phone has an awesome camera in it. It's very high quality, HD, so I ended up going that way today. And I like that. I may just see if I can find a couple more of my old phones laying around, and I can, even if they don't have cell service, I can use them on the network and just link them all up that way. And man, I could have a handful of cameras anywhere I want them. So I'm really excited about that. That worked out well. So if you haven't tried it, there's all kinds of camera streaming apps out there for your cell phones. So just check the App Store, and what it does is it turns on the camera and broadcasts it to an IP address on your network, and it's pretty smooth and simple, and didn't cost me a penny. So if you haven't done anything like that and you need an extra camera, don't hesitate to try it. I can tell you it works out very well. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to add for today's video. I've got pretty much everything I need. I got to get I do have something else. And I talked to him about this on the Google Hangouts this morning. We were talking about the hotbed, and I'm going to give this a try. They seem to think it might work, and I've thought it might work, so I'm going to give it a try. I picked up, this is a hot plate for cooking food, and I plugged it in, and I put an infrared thermometer on it and checked it, and it gets up around an average of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but I think it can't hurt. It's 110 volts, heats up very fast, and I can take it out of this case. It's loose in there. You can rattle it around. So this aluminum framework and these little feet and stuff come off, and I'll just have me a plate. So I talked to a couple guys, and they were saying as long as I got it attached to a good thick aluminum plate work surface here, it should transfer enough heat. So I'm excited. I think that's going to work out okay. We're going to give it a try. If not, Goodwill, $1.99. I'm not out. I'll put it back together and use it to warm up food if I have to. Or put it on eBay. I actually looked these up on eBay because I was going to see if I could find some more and just put 2 or 3 under the plate to get my 500 millimeter coverage. But if I can get one to do it, great. But anyway, I looked these up on eBay, and they're going for like 20, 25 bucks. This is it's vintage. You know, it's worth more. So we'll see. I do need to get a solid state relay. I can't hook this up till I get the money to get a solid state relay, but they're only a few bucks. So I'll pick that up. But that's farther down the road. Didn't really need the heat bed yet. But like I said, when the opportunity presents itself, I saw that sucker on the shelf. Actually, I got this Logitech webcam, $1.99 at Goodwill. It was half price that day for, I think it was a brown sticker. So I ended up getting the thing for $1. And it works. So there's another thing. I'll go ahead and show you this. I'm sure my video is cheesy and unprofessional, but it is what it is. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm just trying to share and have fun and, you know, connect with other people that are into the same hobby. So I guess it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it gets the point across. Again, dropping back to my sheet metal. I haven't got a spot welded yet. I got to put a plug on the spot welder so that I can put this together. But I built me a little box. Built me a box and a cover. I still have to cut the cover to fit, but oops. Anyway, that goes under there. There we go, like that. I still got to finish it up and clean it up, but this is going to be my control box, and I built it exactly to fit a computer power supply. So that's going to fit in there. It's going to give me you've seen the videos, I'm sure. It's going to give me my switch and my power cord and my fan. And I made it so that it'll fit right in there perfectly. So that's gonna be that. I've got some other bits and pieces down here underneath that I've been collecting. Some terminal strips and things like that. And let's see, what else? What I'm putting in here is I'm putting in a Ramps 1.4 Arduino Mega 2560, and I've got I forget the number of it, but the wide display with the knob instead of the little thin display. So I've got that. I've got Raspberry Pi 3B Plus that I'll have Octoprint on. I've got a 2B Plus also. I don't know. Might use the 2B and save the 3B for my security camera project. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with that. I've got, well, let me show you this while it's in my hand here. Let me switch back to split screen there. Let's see if I can show you these. Over the years working on residential and commercial furnaces and air conditioners and stuff, I've collected all kinds of different little knickknacks. And what these are they're clips. And where is it? There we go. They're clips for circuit boards. I've got short ones, and then I've got the taller ones. Well, where is it here? I've got short ones and tall ones. There we go. And then all I got to do is drill a hole in the sheet metal. Let me see here. Drill a hole in the sheet metal, and then these snap in, and then my board will snap onto these. Let's try it again here. So I drill a hole in the sheet metal, push this in, and these are kind of like springs. They flatten out. Well, it's backwards there. They flatten out and lock. And then I've got a standoff locked in the sheet metal. And then on the other side, the board snaps on there and it locks. So that's what I'm going to use to put my boards in my homemade box there. Let's see. I'm probably getting long-winded. You're probably getting tired of me, but I guess you can always change the channel. That's always an option. I hope I'm not boring you. I got all kinds of different terminal strips. I got a lot more in the cabinet. So let's see. I got a knockoff E3DV6 hot end, and then I got an extruder. That's the cheap China extruder. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Maybe you guys can give me a heads up, because I want to keep as much room as I can. And it looks like this thing is made for like to run a tube or something into the hot end. And I was thinking that hot end, there should have been like a U slot here, and that hot end would have slid in and there'd be a cap across it to keep, so that it goes straight. So it goes straight out of the extruder into the cold end with the heat exchanger, the fins. Well, let me just get it and I'll show you. Make sure I'm explaining this the way I'm thinking here. Okay, so there's the cooling fins. There we go. Let's try that. Here's my extruder. And they're both made, looks like they're both made for, that was not good. Yeah. Okay. We're good. It's just dirty. Okay. Let's try this again. I was thinking I could mount this to where it just slid in and then a cap went over and locked it in. But it doesn't work that way. It comes with fittings, like you're supposed to put a tube or something between them. Or maybe I could just put no, it's different sizes. Maybe there's an adapter or something. I don't know. But I want to keep this as short as possible so I don't eat up my 500 millimeters of Z height. So if any of you guys out there know how this is supposed to be, or how I can modify it or anything to make it, I just thought this should have a U slot in it and this should slide right in. So I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that. Help me out. I really want to find a way to get this in. Now, I know it's not going to be perfect right here off the bat. You know, it's I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. There's another thing you can help me with if you got a name for it. I don't necessarily want to call it Frankenstein. I think that's been probably used before, I would imagine. That's kind of the go-to for anything that's been hodgepodge together. But it's kind of a scrapyard printer. But if you got any ideas on what I should call it, share them. Let me know. And any ideas on this extruder? getting that put together and having the most clearance that I can get, the most travel, would be appreciated. I'm sure you guys have got a lot more experience with that stuff than I do. I can handle the CNC part. I've worked on that stuff years ago, but all of the actual 3D printer stuff, I've never 3D printed anything. All my CNC equipment had welding or plasma cutters on them. So, you know, if it came to cutting metal, I would know. But in this case, this is new to me. So, I think that's about it. You've seen what I've got for an extruder, my Raspberry Pis. I got the camera for the Pi. So, we'll that'll all come later. That's where I'm at right now. Let me get off this split screen unless you like looking at my pretty feet here. Somewhere there. There we go. All right, everybody. So that's where we're at. I'm going to clean that mess up, and then I'm going to see if I can do a little work on some of my carriage, whatever. See if I can make some progress there. And I got a couple wood projects I got to get done that have sold, and I need to get them done so we can get them shipped out. So that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you guys give me some feedback and, you know, help me out. I got a lot of issues that I got to debug. Even if you got thoughts on the Google Hangouts, why it gives me so much trouble. I think I've got OBS coming together pretty well. I'm working on some better graphics and screen transitions and things like that, but that's slow going. Discord, I have Discord up and running. I don't know, just a lot going on. But anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for coming in and watching my video. This has not been a very scripted video. It's just kind of off the cuff. But I wanted to give you guys an update, show you that I am making progress. It's coming together. And we're getting ready to get down to the real fun stuff of making it all work. So I will get back to you and show you when I have some more to show you. Other than that, you guys have a great day, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you again soon, somewhere in one of the chats or something. So thanks for joining. See ya.